The Deschutes River runs right through the center of our city. Here's what the city is doing to reduce sediment from entering the river and tips on what you can do to help.
Well, it's important to understand why Bend is even here. We owe our existence as a town in most ways to the Deschutes River and its health, and this is why Bend is located here in the first place historically.
A lot of people think that sediment is natural in a river, and some is, but when you get to have too much sediment, it can cover spawning areas. It can make it really hard for fish and aquatic species to find food.
When we think about sediment in the Deschutes River, I think we have to go back to the late 1940s with the construction of Wickiup Reservoir. With Wickiup Reservoir, what we have are very high flows coming out in the summertime, very low flows in the wintertime, and that change, that difference, combined with the very erodible soils of the Deschutes riverbanks, leads to a lot of erosion and a lot of that sediment moving downstream and landing in places like Mirror Pond. So right behind me, what we have is Mirror Pond with low water flow. We have these large mud flats that are, of course, covered with snow right now, but essentially, the dam here at Mirror Pond has collected sediment over decades and started to fill in, and the river has started to reclaim a somewhat more natural, narrow river channel through these mud flats. And so essentially it's adjusting to this heavy load of sediment and the presence of the dam.
Bend is taking the lead to protect the river from runoff from storm drains as well as construction sites like the one behind me. You'll see some barriers and some fencing, and that's designed to keep runoff from going directly into the river.
Within town, some sources of sediment include the traction materials that we need to put down for safety during the winter time, and it can also include sediments that might come off of landscaping where there's bare soil, or a significant source is also construction sites where they're actively moving the soil, and when that comes off, that can be a significant source.
We at the city recognize the value of the river and its health to our local economy and our city. So part of that is protecting what goes into the river.
There are three areas that the city's really focusing on. We have an erosion and sediment control program, so we've just hired an environmental compliance specialist to help with education and enforcement. We're providing training, including the upcoming Certified Erosion and Sediment Control Lead training, to help teach people how to keep stormwater sediments on site. And the third thing is we do a maintenance program, including our sweepers and our Vector trucks, that in the past year throughout town, we're able to remove over 13,000 yards of material from the system. There's three things a homeowner can do to help prevent sediments getting into the system. First, if you're getting supplies, landscape supplies, don't have them delivered in the street. Do not blow or wash materials into the street. And the third thing is, especially with this winter, we've all have probably lost some plants. If you see bare spots in your landscaping, fill those in with plants because the roots will help hold the soil. The city works with a number of partners throughout town for clean water. In the past, we've done sustainability outreach through COCC. We also work with the Upper Deschutes Watershed Council, helping to sponsor their annual Deschutes River Cleanup Day. And we work with the Environmental Center to help educate our students about where water comes from, where it goes, and how it's handled, including a stormwater tour.